Raise your hand if you love what you do and you do what you love. Raise your hand. Excellent. Raise your hand if you like the opportunity to change people's lives. Raise your hand. Raise your hand one last time if you think that being rewarded for what you do, for what you love, is a good thing, but not just rewarded a little bit, but being able to earn the money that gives you the life that you dream of. Raise your hand if that sounds good. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to show you guys a little bit of a day in the life of Weimar. From where we get our students from, how we market that a little bit. It's a bit of a three-part process. But you know, the thing is, you've got to wonder yourself, like, where are you today in life, in martial arts business, is one thing, but you really got to know where you want to be. If you don't have that clear vision or understanding of where you want to be, then how do you get there? You need that map. And that's what we're going to really try and do with you guys today, is share the journey of the map from a client, well, a non-client, how they find us, how we engage with them, how we take them into our school, how they become a member, and how they continue on what we like to call a student for life. And that's really what we're going to take you on that process. Probably what we're going to show you today is probably no different than what you've seen maybe before, hopefully with some different tweaks, different areas that we focus on that might give us different results. So just keep that in mind, and I really love the analogy that Danielle said today. So I want everyone to hold your hand up like this. Everyone hold your hand up. That's an imaginary cup of water. Empty it, and now we're going to fill up some new knowledge, all right? So you're just going to come with that open mind.
Look, guys, what we're also going to do is, look, I've been in a couple of the different rooms today as well as some of our team here, and I know that the material that's been covered is sometimes very similar. This is what works for us and works in our school. So if you see some stuff that resonates with you, fantastic. If you see some stuff that you don't think is applicable, cool, no drama. So we're not going to stand up here and preach and say this is how you should do things. We're just going to give you examples of our real life, our everyday occurrence, and hopefully that gives you guys some material so you can go home, implement, especially like on Monday. So again, as Phil sort of said, we are going to give you from, you know, attracting the client or the new student right through to the process of being able to run classes, and again, how to keep them for life. So before we even head to that sort of factor there, what I'd like to do is I've got a couple of our managers here today. I've got the lovely Will in the blue top over there. Give him a wave, Will. And I've got Brianna here. Bri, do you want to stand up, please? Now, the reason why I want to point these guys out is they're actually managing two of our schools. We've got three, but they were able to step away from that role over this weekend, knowing that their staff underneath them have been able to take that responsibility. And I guess as a business owner and a martial arts entrepreneur, you really want to have the opportunity to love what you do, but not have to be chained to the dojo 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, some people, you know, that is their life, and that's cool. But what we want to try and do is empower you guys to have the tools, you know, live your life the way you want and get the material that goes with it. So again, what we're going to do is share with you a little bit shortly. So enjoy, hold on, and we speak quickly and we'll give you lots of material. So let's rock and roll.
Cool. Just before we go into the next bit of content, just give you a little bit of background. So Weimar, we're from Perth. We have 3 schools. We have 1,500 members. We have about 15 full-time staff, an army of paid assistants and non-paid as well. We're lucky enough that we take $60,000 a week in revenue. That's the sort of thing we're trying to turn you around. Now, you think, well, monster school, that's what we want. No. The leaner, meaner, tighter organisation that the schools, they are the ones. So don't think, oh, I need a super school to be earning that type of money. Not at all. You just got to get a real nice, tight, clean machine, running great systems, and, you know, getting yourselves great results. So in saying that, we've basically identified, you know, there's 5 areas that you need to focus on in your martial arts business to be able to go from surviving to thriving, wherever that may be. 5 areas. And we're going to cover some of them today. We won't have a lot of time to go through all of them, but if you have anything that you want to ask questions on during the breaks, please do that there. But also, just to give you an insight, I'm going to get Graham to just take us through I've got the guys, the managers, to do a quick walk through with the video so you can see our schools running as yesterday. Cool. So we talked a little bit about the 5 areas of focus, the 5 areas that we identified in our business early on, which gave us something really to focus on in growing our school. For those who do know our background, we were lucky enough to buy our school off our instructor. Had about 300 members, but we knew something had to change. We were able to double that in what was it?
We doubled the student numbers in about an 18-month period, but we increased 4 times the revenue in probably about a year, just because by changing a few systems and a few bits and pieces.
By utilising these. So the 5 areas, so you guys can understand this, is number 1, I talked a little bit about at the start, is vision. You probably heard the saying, begin with the end in mind. If you don't know where you are or where you want to be, then how are you going to get there? So be clear, and you know what? Your decisions can change. It's not an issue. But unless you've got a goal or something to shoot for, then you're just going to be driving blind. You're always going to be hitting that plateau or glass ceiling. So it's important to get a clear vision, all right? Second is you need presence. What does presence mean? Well, presence is how you are seen within your community. It's your branding, it's your colours, it's your message, it's the wow factor when the students come in the door, when they leave the class. It's a range of things that presence is, but it's about really, in essence, it's how people see you, how you're judged, how you're perceived to other people. The third area is your charisma. Your charisma. Now, what is that? What's charisma? What do you say? How do you get charisma? Why is that important in business? Well, what's the difference between 2 restaurants sitting side by side? One's fully booked with a waiting list and the other one's got no one in it. It's the staff. It's the personality. It's the cleanliness of the school. It's the feeling that when you walk in the door, you're important. You mean something to that person. That's the difference. That's charisma. And you need that right from when someone picks that phone up all the way until you're getting patted on the back on the way out and all the way through the journey to black belt and beyond. And it's very important. You've got to understand that charisma is key. We also have to have systems. If anyone wants to run a successful school, I don't care what position you're in, start working on systems now. All right? You've got to systemize your school. Checklists, procedures, anything and everything you can do to sort of streamline how your business runs. It's the ability to have our managers step out of class and know that the class plans are being followed. It's the ability for us to be in a different country and know that these guys and the guys down below them are doing exactly what we are asking from them. So systemising your school is number 1. And last but not least is the lead. There's 2 sort of portions of this. There's leading for your team. There's leading in your team, so being a good business owner, a martial arts business entrepreneur, showing your staff that, yeah, I want to be that. You don't want to be that instructor driving that bomb of a car and your instructors, you don't want to even be your life. So you want your team to look up to you and go, yeah, that's how I want to live my life. And leading also means in your life in general. We all have this sort of goal that when we reach it one day, whatever reach it may mean, that we'll have all this time on our hands. We get to go play golf and go walking and climb mountains and I'll have all this time. Well, that's bullshit. Because we're so busy working in our business, we forget about all those things we dreamed of. So that's what we're doing. And we basically created 5 programs for that. I'll let Graham explain.
Look, guys, as Phil sort of pointed out with the future plan, it's important to make sure, regardless if you've got an existing school or if you're starting a school or you're just, again, struggling to break through, you need to understand where you want to go. So, again, with that sort of planning in mind, myself and Phil, and you ask any of the managers, at the start of every single year, we audit all of our students and say, what did we do well? But more importantly, what can we improve on? So we do that every single year. We take stock for ourselves, and it helps us to plan for the future to make better decisions. And you may want to expand your business. You may just want to go, look, I'm happy where it's at, but I really want to consolidate and enjoy my life. It all comes down to you knowing where you want to go. Now, the brand creator is something where, personally, you'll see the way that we put our material, our logos, the colour branding for Waymer is obviously blue. That's our colour. For TIMA, we have a particular logo. Again, how you're perceived in the industry. So, you guys all know Apple, it's got a lovely little apple for its icon, the big tick, okay, Nike. So, again, branding yourself is something that is extremely important so they're recognised. Now, again, you don't have to just stick with the same logo you designed 20 years ago. You can morph that. You can improve on that if that's something that you want to do. But again, guys, branding is extremely important for you to stand out from all the other martial arts schools, but more importantly, all the other sports and other activities. So you want to be that go-to place. X Factor formula is something we really devised to say, look, there are certain things in your business that you need to do with your school that gives you that wow experience, that X Factor. When someone walks in and goes, holy shit, this is great. And again, they already know what to expect when you present fees, because they're like, yeah, man, I can see the place. And I'm not saying that you need to go and hire or lease out a building. You can do the same wow experience with the school hall just by simply paying some attention to clean things up a little bit. It's still very much applicable. Systems, okay, guys, I can't harp on about this enough. Now, that is scary for most people. Where the hell do I start? But again, class plans is probably the first and foremost, and everything builds from that. But having something in place where you can then scale your business if that's what you want to do. Or again, just enjoy it without the levels of stress of recreating everything. And the final thing we've sort of put down there was, again, the GPS, that guidance, planning and strategy. Because again, as a business owner, and for anybody who's in that sort of role, when you're at the coalface or you are in the engine room, you don't get to steer the ship. You don't get a chance to see what the hell is coming. And I know that not only in this country but across the world, the economic climate over the last few years has been pretty gnarly. It's made it hard for most businesses. So rather than just surviving, let's get your head up and look and go, right, my business needs to take this path, or I need to adjust a few things. I need to come to these types of events, which is, applaud for you guys. So 2015, let's just, that's just pre-setting for you guys on what's going on. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty now and give you an idea so far. 2015 now. I've chatted to a few people and I understand that sometimes January, Christmas time is not always the best for students. School goes back, yeah, great, but let's have a look at what we did this January. So 442 inquiries in 23 days we had across our schools. And when we say that amount, it's like, holy shit, that's a lot. But we look at a 50% sign up from that. There are things we're about to show with you and share with you on how we came up with these numbers, where we're getting our students from. And the process we're going to go through today is not to say, change it and do what we're doing. If anything, it's just going to open your eyes up a little bit and help you to go, maybe that could be applicable for me too. So going through here, these are, some of our stats report on where we gathered our students. Now you'll notice down the bottom all the way up, we've got coupons, gift vouchers. They didn't really pay too much, contribution to the big numbers. Now, the three different columns here, guys, are three different schools: Greenwood, Currumbine, Myra Reed. Now, if you go right up, let's have a look at where the heavy numbers are. Shopping centre demos. Okay, what is that? I'll explain. Google website. All right, cool. You've got to have that. Referrals. Obviously, that's a real kicker, guys. Fairs and fates. There was one that we had, 34. But the big one is 278 active prospects from shopping centre displays and things like that. So let's dive into that a little bit more and help you guys. But before we do, I'll really kind of encourage you guys. This is going to be right here, part of this section. We're going to show you how we apply this principle to get all of these leads. So when we talk about the brand create, it's really important about image and everything else. We are certainly, presenting yourself the way you walk, you talk, instructors. I had a couple of guys that I sat in on today and they were saying presentations, everything. People buy with their eyes, their senses, whatnot, equally as much as when it's your brand. Now, Phil, if you want to, kick on with that and explain.
Sure. Look, when it comes to your brand, there's really three areas that we can focus on in this here. Getting yourself out in the marketplace, in the community, getting people into your doors. One is your brand. We talked about that pretty heavily. Number two is your marketing. Your marketing has to talk to one person. And it's that one person that you want in your school. Too many of us to many and hope to God that we get all these people to come in. But what we're really trying to achieve here is just speak to one person with our marketing. Give that person a name. What do they eat? Where do they go? Where can we find that one person? And then guess what? You're going to find 100 of those one people. And they're going to be the right person for your school. Rather than the ones that come in your school, check it out, no, this is not really what I'm after, and leave. So your marketing has to speak the same language as your brand. And then we back that up with our events. Your events have to echo that same voice. In a sense, we call this like the triangle success. We use this when we're teaching or when we're joining up people. The triangle success when we're teaching parents who are trying to get them engaged in martial arts. Well, you have the child in the middle. We want success for that child or the student. Who around that are going to help that person get success? Well, it's the parent, it's the teacher at school, and it's a third-party role model. We want to be that. And when you have all those three areas in that child's life firing and kicking goals, then you're going to get a successful or an achievable young student. Would you agree, yes or no? Yes? So the same thing happens here. When you have all these three things going on, you're going to have success in your business. It's number one. But I'm going to share something that changed Graham and mine business for life. But you guys actually have to crack the code. This is the code to success. Does anyone know what it is? No? All right, we're going. See ya. Okay, so this here, it is such a slap in the face. And it's to do with marketing, it's to do with your brand, it's to do with your events. And once you identify this and you understand it, you're going to be going, what the hell's going on? Find out what they want, go get it, and give it to them. We're too busy trying to provide the things that we want to people who don't want it. So if you do want a certain genre of person, whether it be kids or kickboxing or fight school, whatever, find out exactly what it is that person wants and just give it to them. It's as easy as that. And we sort of remodeled that, and this is how we got our massive inquiries, because I changed this around. Myself and Graham had a chat about this, and I said, you know, the old days of putting grass signs out, putting that in the paper, waiting for the phone to ring, they're gone. They're gone. So we use this same model, find out what they want, go get it, and let us give it to them. Well, we know, what do we want? What do you guys want in your school? More students, yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. This is the interactive part of the presentation. Okay, so if you want more students using this principle, what do you have to do? Go out and get them. You actually have to physically put yourself in the environment to go get those people and drag them to your school. Okay, because they don't know what you're about. They don't understand what martial arts, they just think punches and kicks. You know, we always say that we're in the business of changing people's lives. And it's martial arts, it's the punches and kicks, is the vehicle that delivers the life skills and character development that everyone wants in their life. Would you agree? Yes or no? Yes. Absolutely. So how do we then translate, find out what they want, go get it? What do we want? Students, let's go out and get them. Well, how are we going to do that? And it came down to brand spacing, which is definitely Graham's speciality, so I'll let him take over.
Look, guys, before I even dive into this, I'm going to sort of challenge you a little bit here. You know? Raise your hands if you were here last year. Raise your hands. Beautiful, hands down. Okay. Some of you learned some brilliant material and did nothing with it. You know, nothing with it. Went home and just asked too hard. Or, it's a good idea, I'll try it next week. I'll try it the week after, whatever. Or try it once and it fails and you just give up on it. The thing I'm going to challenge you is whatever speaker you hear or any material you get it home, itemise it as much as you can. I'm sure you're already doing that now. And just start applying it. Start working it. Start using it. And that's where these sort of ideas came from. But you'll actually see in a second when we show you these sort of photos, is it was actually Fred De Palma and Robin that gave us an idea 2 years ago. That we went, man, that is killer. Okay, I'm grabbing that and boom, we're going to use it. And that has been a big, you know, contributing factor in our success. So again, guys, you know, we're here to share, and these guys are great. They are flying across the world to come here and share with you guys. So do us a favour, any other presenter, by applying the stuff we show you. Because again, we've done it hard. We've had to work our butt off to get there. We failed. It cost us a ton of cash and a ton of time. So we're trying to help you so you don't have to repeat those same mistakes to the same level. Yeah, you've got to make mistakes, but not for the same level. But brand space, what is it? Well, what we do is we actively go to a shopping centre. Now, we rent a space for a week. Now, again, this may be scalable for yourself. You may go, okay, I don't have the time or the money to invest. But again, this is just an idea. Up the top here, you'll see we have a booth. We have a video, a looping, sort of a short ad. When people walking past, we have the spin wheel. And this is the one I'm talking about. It was Fred and Robin sort of stuff. And we're like, man, that is killer. That is cool. We use this for everything. Okay? But again, it's just a way to be interactive with people. So they come and they inquire on what's going on. Hey, look, funnily enough, we've actually got a small dojo floor there where kids can come and actually participate. It's a 5-minute intro where someone goes, man, that is pretty cool. You know, I'm interested. Here's my details, call me later. Again, our team are trained well enough to know not to push, because raise your hands if you've ever been at a shopping centre and those guys with a paintball are trying to hand them out, you just like flag them off. Raise your hand, guys. Yeah, of course. You know, we've all been shopping and just gone, not a chance. I'm on the phone when really you're not on the phone. So it's important to make sure that people come to us and we engage with them, not force things down their throats, which is why having demonstrations going on allows the kids to stop. They anchor mum and dad, stop, I want to have a look. And then it gives our team a chance to go, hey, look, would you like some info? So again, that's just one way that we've been able to brand space. Now the cost is one thing. We don't see it as a cost. We look at it as an investment, return on investment. And that may be the same principle applied to a school fair, school fetes. It's getting out into your community and making people go, you're the place that I recognise. Now, stats and figures, I was chatting to Phil and a couple of other guys, it takes 16 times for somebody to see your brand before they make a buying decision. Think about how much it costs for you guys to put an ad in the paper, run a flyer, do this, do that. It's a bloody hard work. So why wouldn't you want to go and be live, face-to-face, where you can? So guys, there's plenty of resources there that won't cost you money. There are things that you may go, hey, look, I want a more targeted approach, and it's going to cost me some cash. Now, we also use a few other ways to increase traffic to our school, and that's co-branding. Now, we've been really driven to make sure we position our martial arts school as the go-to place, a professional organisation. Therefore, we have a lot of other big business come to us to say, hey, we want to join forces, let's work together. Now, just to show a hand, does everybody have Lorna Jane over this side of the country? Does everyone have hands up if you guys do it here? Okay, good, cool. So we have it obviously over in Perth, but Lorna Jane came to us and said, right, we want to work with you guys. Right? So this is happening next week. We have a Empower Me seminar where it's at our schools, at 3 schools. They have 10 stores, where we have posters that'll be in stores. We have 2 instructors for every location that'll do a demo in class in this store and promo this event. So they are going to hand out over their 10 stores probably 20,000 tickets and also flyers, and people just call and book us in. No, they don't get any benefit from it, as in money. They get just co-branding and able to work together because we resonate the same image that they're trying to portray. So again, that's one area. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have Grand Cinemas. Okay, for us, they have 10 locations again. We said, hey, instead of having a store, why not see if we can brand with you guys? I said, yeah, that's a great idea. For every ticket sold, we'll give them this voucher to every kid that comes to our 10 stores or 10 movie cinemas. And I was like, man, that's great. We printed them up. They did all the work. So for us, that was another way. We also do, myself and Phil, a lot of charity work. So we have the opportunity to be part of an organisation, Telethon, for WA, for some of you may know it, but it's basically a way to raise money for childhood illness. This particular organisation is childhood brain cancer research. And over the last 3 years we've been involved, we've raised over $70,000 to help fight the cure for cancer. But this is the co-promotion because we went, right, for every student we sign up through these cards, we will donate that membership to you guys. Okay? So it's then putting your business as a place that isn't about just making money, it's about giving back to your community wherever possible. And that is, again, good branding, guys. So something that we really encourage is to take a few of these little tips and then, right, who in my area can I work with? Who can I have a business-to-business relationship? And this may be scary as hell going, where do I start? But it's those little bits. Start with a school fete, then build from there.
Cool. So just to have a quick look again, we went through the brand creator. We were working on the brand, marketing, events. We get all these in sync. We start getting a bit more successful in our school. But, all right, now what? What do we do next? So we've got the phone ringing, or you've got all this marketing and stuff going out there. You've actually got to have some steps and processes and systems to be able to capture them in the net. All right? So as we talked about before, we took a look at some of the brand creator. We're just going to touch on some of the X Factor formula. As Graham mentioned, there were 4 areas that we focus on in this sort of area. One, which is basically making sure that, when you've got clean, tight marketing and branding, well, your facility better match that. There's no point having $1 million flyer and then walking into a bloody shoebox. So you've got to have to make sure that your facility matches your brand as well. We also have to have the admin staff cranking. Now, we also have, our big school, we have admin staff. Our other 2 schools are similar to Fred and Robin's, where we have sort of 3 main people there, and they all rotate the reception, instructing, and et cetera, et cetera. So the lean machine works very, very well for us, having 3 instructors rather than the big juggernaut with over 800 members. We have a fair bit of an army there. So the next is your instructors. Now, well, our instructors, in our particular school, we do use program directors. We have done it every other way that you could ever imagine. All right, we've tried and tested everything. We thought, oh yeah, if we get rid of a program director, he can be back on the floor. It just didn't work for us in our environment. And I believe, especially here in Australia, that you do need some sort of program director to help you. Most people are sick of this whole logging in online, not this face-to-face stuff. People want to talk to people. And it's important for us to be showing and be caring about the person who's going to charge or are going to pay you money for your knowledge. So I think it would be wise for you to know about them as well. Would you agree, yes or no? You need to know who you're teaching, all right? Number 4 is your product. And I really love this one because, you know, it doesn't matter what you teach, doesn't matter what your style is, there is still 5 elements that you must have in your class regardless of style. Doesn't matter if you're doing Tai Chi, yoga, kickboxing, taekwondo, karate, whatever it is, you must have these 5 areas to be able to deliver a quality product, whatever that may be. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. So let's just go into a system here, and I'm going to show you guys as a video. We all know how internet these days can sometimes drop out, so it's better if we just show you a quick 1-minute video of how we would get our administration staff answering the phone. So we've got an online training portal for some of you guys who has seen us out the front, where our staff can access every bit of system, every bit of procedure within our school. All right? So just listen up, and the handsome Davil Graham...
Yeah, with my voice recorded, so just enjoy.
In this particular section, we're going to go through some of the different roles that the admin staff or reception staff will play in our business. To find those areas, we'll go down over here on the left-hand side, and you'll see there's a range of different courses that we have booked in here, some of which are our class management, employee induction, again, a learning world for our instructor training and our weighing procedures. You'll also see that it's just over here on the extended version. If I click on this, it'll take us straight through to our reception section. Now, on the reception part, each of these particular positions here have detailed explanations of the role. So I click on membership suspension. I'm processing a suspension on clubwear. If I go into this, it'll give our students our newer members to the team, a step-by-step way to go through and update and process these agreements correctly. You notice again, just on the left-hand side, if I decide that I want to go through to any other section, so a membership cancellation, we'll click on this, and it'll take us through an explanation of what's going on, what needs to happen, what the processes are, and then obviously the required forms that go with it. So we have our membership cancellation form. If one of the staff members needs to update this, we're easily able to do so. Or again, if they need to find this to be able to print this off and give it to a student, we can happily do so. So this is again, with our administration role, we have everything detailed so that our staff can quickly reference the materials they need at the drop of a hat. And again, we need to make sure on a daily basis that our staff is doing exactly that. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into our administration, or should I say our reception checklist.
Look guys, I've got excited last night, probably put the wrong one up, which is let's give you guys a sneak peek into some of our systems. Now, the big one though is in there we actually have phone strips and whatnot, and that's something that I want to delve into. So we've shown you so far how we get our students. But what happens once you get the lead? How do you process it? How do you do that? Now, this particular part of the exercise is not going to be me standing and talking. It's going to be me actually grabbing one of you guys and doing it live. Okay? Or actually show you. So again, we've got a videotape, so if you need to go back over it later, we can most definitely do it. And Joni said that she would happily help. So it's all good. Now, guys, if you can't see at the back, and look, you guys want to move around, you're more than welcome. We're actually going to just sit back to back. And we can
grab 2 chairs. 2 chairs back to back.
So guys, this is what we do if we were answering the phone from a lead. Let's just say we have generated that interest from this shopping centre display. And again, it's a fine science, guys, to be able to communicate well and get those details needed to then book the appointment, or again, get as much material as possible. Joe, you may decide that it's for you, your son, your daughter, your whoever else. Now guys, has anybody with a show of hands ever heard of diagnostic selling before? Raise your hands if you heard that word. Okay, hands down. In case that you just think I'm talking rubbish, when you go to a doctor and you're unwell, they will diagnose and they'll ask you questions to work out what is wrong with you. as a salesperson or a program director, you need to ask the right questions so I can provide the right remedy for what you're looking for. Again, going back to find out what they want, go get it and give it to them. So, Jamie, you may want, self-defense. And if I'm talking about fighting and kickboxing, you're like, it's not for me. Okay, so really important to make sure. Now, we always have a pad and pen next to our phones to be able to grab details quickly. We'll do this in a short version, guys, just so you can kind of get an idea. But please feel free to, again, guys, we're going to be sitting here, so definitely do your very best to see how you go. So,
but before we get going, I'm just going to actually challenge Graham, though. I'm going to challenge Graham and make sure he does it right, because I'm going to grade him on this. Now, in our school or in our systems of inquiry procedures, we have the 5 magic questions. And if you miss one of these, well, you get a bit of a slap around the face. All right? Because there are 5 questions you need to ask when you're talking or dealing with someone on the phone, so that you can be best prepared for them when they walk in your facility for the very first time. So I'm going to put them up here. And Graham knows what they are, so I'm not going to give out the secret tips, but let's have a look and see if you may know what they are as well. The first thing is that you'll see Graham, and we'll check it off when he gets there, is you need to know who are the classes for. Because it could be for them, it could be for the child, it could be for the child sister, you just got to find that out. And then you would embellish on that as well, name, age, all that sort of stuff. The number 2 question is, what benefits do you or the child want to gain? This is key. Because we're finding out what they want. Just like Graham said, there's no point offering kickboxing if they want self-defense. Or if the child is getting bullied, there's no point putting him in a class that's not suited for them. So we need to find that out, what the benefits are. We also need to know, do they do any other activities? What are we up against? Do they play regular sports? Are they trained? Do they have tutors? Do they do music? Are we comparing fees, our fees, with something else? So we need to know what they get up to in their life, after school, during school, all that sort of stuff is very important. Do they do any other activities? How did you find out about us? It's obviously key for our statistics. You need to know that. And last but not least, this is so important, do you know where our school is? And you can't just say, they go, oh yeah, I know where it is. You go, well, excellent. So we're 15B Canham Way. We're behind TaxAid. You know that big sign you see on there? Give them a marker so they can gauge that. So when they're driving down the road, they see that sign that's right there. So let's see how Graham goes, Jamie goes, with this inquiry call. All right?
So we go ring, 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 ring. Jamie will answer the phone. Thank you for calling the WA Institute of Martial Arts. This is Graham. How can I help you?
Oh, hi, I just wanted to know how much your classes were.
Not a problem. Now, what's your name, sorry?
My name's Jamie.
Okay, Jamie, cool. Now, is it for yourself or anybody else?
It's for myself, primarily.
No worries, great. Have you ever done martial arts before?
No.
All right, cool. Now, what are some of the things that you want to sort of gain by doing martial arts?
Well, actually, I'm just sick of going to the gym. I want something different.
Cool, no worries. Where else do you go to the gym?
Fitness First.
Cool, no dramas. Now, how did you actually find out about us?
I actually saw you in the shopping centre.
Oh, great, well done. Did you happen to actually get any vouchers or anything off the guys from the shopping centres?
No, I was on my phone at the time. I didn't have time to stop.
Oh, well, look, that's cool. Look, not a problem. Look, I'm glad that you decided to give us a call. Now, do you know much about what we actually do?
Punch and kick and get fit.
Cool. Well, look, we've got a few different programs in our system. And look, obviously, being at the gym, you're obviously sort of fit in certain ways, but is there anything specific that you really want to get from it? Obviously, we have self-defense, we have fitness, we all have that type of stuff. What sort of really is your target?
Look, I'd love to get a black belt.
Great, no worries. Now, have you had any friends that have ever done martial arts before?
My cousin does martial arts.
Cool, easy. Whereabouts?
In Sydney.
Okay, no dramas. Well, look, what we do, Jamie, is look, we have so many different programs that are available. Sometimes to list them, they can be quite daunting. So most often enough in this situation, we'll invite you down just for a look around. Have a look around our school. I can give you the timetables. I can give you the information. Basically help you just get a bit of a look-see. Is that something that sounds good to you?
Yeah, sure.
No worries. Now, look, we tend to get pretty busy, so I like to sort of schedule a time so I can help you out. Does Monday at 3:30 work for you at all?
Yeah, that should be great. Can I bring my daughter?
Oh, most definitely. How old's your daughter?
7.
Okay, what's her name?
Brooklyn.
Awesome. Has she ever looked at martial arts as well too?
No, but she's a little bit on the shy side, so this might be something that would work for her.
It's always nice to have Mum be able to sort of show and lead the way, and have obviously Brooklyn maybe decide that she may want to do it. Well, look, what we do, Jamie, is we've got obviously 3:30 available. It's about a 20-minute tour, obviously for yourself and Brooklyn. If you want to bring anybody else, you're more than welcome. But what we need to do is, if you would mind, can I just grab your contact number, please?
Sure. 0402 833 588.
No dramas. Now, do you actually know where we are?
No, actually I don't.
Okay, well look, the Greenwood School is probably, in my opinion, probably the better one for you, so we're going to take that option, and it's number 15B Cannon Way in Greenwood, right behind Taxo. Now,
So if I just see that sign,
you got it. It's halfway down the road, you can't miss it, it's huge.
Great.
Alrighty, now, so what I've got is a 3:30 on Monday coming up for yourself and Brooklyn. Look, just wear anything comfy and casual. I'll certainly explain and help you guys with everything else. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Beautiful. You take care, enjoy your day, and I'll see you shortly.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Give her a clap, please.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
did I tell her the fees? No. You need to. You're like, ah, damn it.
But what happens if she asks for the fees?
I'll tell you the fees.
Do we hide them? No.
Not at all.
Up front, congruent with what we are.
Look, we range in fees, guys. We range from about $30 a week up to about $130 a week. So people, what the hell? You know, Jesus. It doesn't scare. Look, we'll show you more of that once you come and have a look around. I'm building value, but again, I knew that Jamie was pretty keen. She did the gym. I write notes here. She did the fitness, wants a black belt, which spurred me on to ask you the question, do you have anybody else that's done it before? Funnily enough, she's bringing a daughter, Brooklyn, who's interested in martial arts. She's 7 years old, got 2 leads now. Okay. Got her contact number, knew where she was coming from, okay? So she knew where we were obviously located, how she found out about us, shopping centre, walked past us, but still called us, okay? So however that may have been. Again, if I had more time, I'd probably drill down. Look, I know you saw us at the shopping centre. No, I didn't know about on the phone. Cool. Did you find us on the website? Did you? Because again, that was one thing I went, all right, you didn't get anything from me, you didn't have the number, where else would I have looked? So just being able to diagnose. I'm asking lots of questions and letting you tell me, but at the same token too, you know, trying to build that rapport. And this is what we do. Look, I've done this a very long time, and our staff are trained just in that same process. What we try and do on the phone, we're not trying to sell. We're just trying to make it easy for you to come and have a look around. Okay, that's it. If you want to choose us, awesome. If you don't, no problemo. But people don't want to be sold to. They want to choose to buy. And that's what we do differently. We want to make it such an experience where you feel welcome that you go, man, I'm going there. And I'm going to stick around there. So, you know, for yourself, Jamie, I know it's nervous up on stage, but how was that in a process for you? Was it sort of, did it flow for you?
I actually forgot that I had asked what the price was.
Yeah, so again, it's not that we're trying to talk away from that. I just don't answer that question. I want to kind of diagnose, find out what they want, go get it and give it to you. Okay, I want to get fit, but I was like, yeah, fitness is one thing. What else can I drill down on a little bit too? Okay, so that was that process. So again, give Jamie a huge clap, guys. She did a great job. Well done.
All right. Have we got a time check? What time does this wrap up? How long we got?
4:40.
All right, cool. Excellent, cool. So now comes the participation part. Partner up in twos. Go. Quick, partner up in twos. Stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Partner up in twos.
Okay, now find a brand new two, not someone near you. Cheeky buggers. Find someone new. Let's go.
Quickly. Five, four, three. Hurry up. Put your hand up if you don't have a partner. 2, 1, 0. Time. Quiet. Quiet, please. All right. So you are going to do exactly... Listen up. We don't have much time. We want to make sure everyone gets experience. It's all good and well taking notes, but you actually have to put it in practice. Role-playing is big at our school. Something we have to do. It doesn't matter how good you think you are. All right. You've got to sharpen the sword. We all know that terminology. Always sharpening, always getting better. So even Graham, I picked up a couple of things he could probably improve on. Do you want to know what they are? No. Cool. So now what I want you to do, if you need to look at the questions, that's great. You need a pad, a paper, and you need to do the whole phone call thing. Get as much information as you can. Make sure you're asking those questions. You have 3 minutes each person. Go.
Guys, if you need to move around, grab some chairs and spread out.
Look, I'm sure there's probably a lot of you out there who have call scripts and different things that you guys drill down. Can't stress the importance of everyone speaking the same language in your company, in your dojo, in your school. It's frustrating sometimes, and you need to deal with it. And it happens even in a small school where you imagine like a student, right? He's being taught by 3 different instructors at different times throughout his journey, and basically he's taught a kata or something one way, and then an instructor from the same school teaches it slightly different, and they question the instructor, and that instructor then questions himself, and really you're not really congruent with what you're doing, so your team isn't tight. And the same thing would apply for your administration systems, from your call script to what they say, to the smile that the administration staff have when they walk in, to the smell of the place. It's all very, very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed that section there that we went through. We were going to cover and ask some questions in a minute, but just so you guys know what we've got planned for the next 2 sessions we have, tomorrow we'll be doing dynamic class plans, and we're also then going to follow up or finish off exactly where we left off there. We're going to show you the actual introductory procedure that we do. And again, diagnostic selling all the way through that, diagnostic finding out about the person and take you through that journey. As I said before, we've had introductory procedures where they just come straight into class. We've done it, it works to a certain amount of student numbers for us, and then it starts to dwindle. We just found that this works best if you do have the staff, the facility to be able to do what we do as a program director. Really works well for us.
Look, guys, I applaud you just for being here, turning up and engaging. That's a big part of it. I was just chatting with Fred just a second ago that there's, I'd say, no real difference in what we do to what you guys are capable of doing and probably already are doing. It's just the application behind it. You know, we've all had students who learn a kata and they think they know it, they know the pattern, but they don't really know it. They don't really even apply it. So again, my challenge to you guys, and I said this at the very start, was take whatever material from whoever presents and actually go back and apply it. You know, work on a way that you go, right, I've got a page of notes. My school's not ready for 3 or 4 or 5 of these things to be implemented. That's cool. But in 6 months' time, they may be ready to do so. And you think, right, this month I'm just going to work on this. And it may be a small thing by just having a phone script or a different tone ring. So when you answer the phone, you know that it's your dojo. So you answer it with, hey, this is Graham from the WNC, rather than just hello, and lose a client. So again, guys, little bits compounded will make some massive changes for you guys. So again, just to add on to what Phil's saying, this is like the first little taste test. We've got some more stuff tomorrow. It's very much going to be interactive, guys. So be ready just to get in there and enjoy and then apply it to your own school if it's a good fit. We're not going to say that what we do is, should be followed by everyone. We're going to give you some great structure and then you guys put your own sort of ways to it. From my background, I used to be a baker and pastry chef by trade and a chef by trade. But what I want to do is I say to Phil all the time, a cake recipe, you need to follow step by step by step by step to get that cake to look how it is. How you decorate it, that's up to the individual. As a martial arts business, we're going to give you that step by step by step. How you decorate it, that's your own flair you guys want to put to it, okay? Your own style, your own system. So I challenge you to follow the recipe, get the results, but put your own spin on things as well too, guys. So any questions you may have, fire away, guys, and we'd love to do so. If you don't, we're around, okay? We'd love to help you guys whenever we possibly can. So
we've got 4 minutes before we finish, so any questions would be good.
Right.
How many different programs are you guys running there?
We have, 3 main programs in our school. We have our Zendokai program, which is our freestyle karate program. That is our 90% that we do. We have a Muay Thai program that we do, and a black belt club, which has a few little jelly bean sort of things that are in there, like a little bit of weapons, a little bit of this, but they're not really a standalone program. But our Zendokai program for us has jiu-jitsu, it has the Krav Maga, it has the street self-defense. It's got all of that in there. So again, rather than have 15 different programs where you get confused, have one really solid one with maybe 1 or 2 complementary. So yeah, good question, mate. Yes.
Do you guys have many classes during the week, or is it like?
We have,
at our large school with 2 floors, we have over 80 classes a week.
It's actually 92 classes
92
a week.
running within that week. And so what we did when we opened up other schools, and we've talked, probably good talking point for you guys wanting to go from part-time to full-time, and we talked about it earlier, repeating ourselves, funny that, because it works, begin with the end in mind. So when we opened up our 2 other schools, we started with a full-time timetable, and we split them, age-specific, 5 to 9s, white and yellow, 5 to 9s, orange and blue, green, brown, black, 10 to 14s, adults. We had the timetable that would suit 400 to 500 members. We just needed the members. But we filled the white and yellow classes first, and they gave them an opportunity to then book appointments in all those other time slots. When a new client looks at that timetable, they're thinking, wow, look at that. Someone sent me their timetable just recently, and it's got 1 class here, 1 there. I'm like, man, there's nothing going on here. It's not very, very inspiring to see a timetable was empty. So begin with the end in mind, and that's very, very big on our point. So even on a single floor dojo and other schools, it's basically just half of that. So what, half of 90, whatever that is. No. All right, that's how many classes we run per week at that one too.
Yes.
Do you cap your class size?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you cap your class size?
Look, we are fortunate enough that in our large school, on the large floor, we can have up to about 45. But realistically, we like to have a good instructor ratio. And this is not so much class size, instructor ratio. So we like to have about a 1 to 7 instructor versus students in class. So look, to be honest with you, we always say, man, how exciting is it when you've got a packed class? Parents go, it's busy. And you're like, man, how good is this? You know, they're like, but as long as the kids are being serviced and the parents are being, their needs are being met, class size is an issue. When you've got 50 kids and only 2 instructors, then you start to find that you're running after yourself. And it's like herding cats. One goes one way, one goes another way, kids go cry, whatever else, it's a challenge.
That's where having a good leadership team, good instructor program, to be able to have those guys up and coming. And as we said, there's nothing, you always put, if you're like us, you have bottlenecks, like orange and blue, belt level, 6 to 12 months, there's a bottleneck. It always gets big at different points. Green belt bulges, line to line, parents at the back going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the value for money. All that. When you go, and then you look at this environment, it's just amazing how many people you get to train with, the vibe you get from a class, all the things that the students get out of that. Yeah, it's amazing. I know we've got time, but I just want to quickly answer that, really 2 questions that you answered. We had a guy open up literally across the road, so karate style, and we had one of our guys who we brought into our school to teach BJJ open up probably double that distance as well. Yeah, he took a few people, but exactly the same thing. You can't change what's happened. You can only change your beliefs and values around that and just keep moving forward. So that's the answer to that question. Don't let it, although it's going to be annoying and piss you off. And 2, success, and I take this challenge to every single one of you guys. The only reason that we're successful in what we do, I think, is because of we're together, being a business partnership, we have the ability to rebound off each other. We're very competitive. We tell each other to shut up sometimes, like that marriage thing going on. What I'm getting at is I don't care who you are and what business you do. You need mentors. You need people to associate with. You need people to work with. And just like Danielle said at the start, we're not in competition with you guys. So don't even think that. Get that mindset out of here. Let's all help each other. Yeah? Thanks.
Thank you.